Hi guys, welcome to today's YouTube video. In today's video, we will be discussing the current state of Bitcoin and how my current scenario is playing out beautifully so far. As I have been telling you guys at the beginning of the week, we have indeed seen a bump towards the upside for Bitcoin. Also, we will be going over RSR, which has been pumping like crazy the past couple of weeks, I would say. So we're also taking a look at that one and looking for potential long or short positions on that one. First of all, we're going to start off with Bitcoin. So what can we see right now for Bitcoin is that last night we took out the previous week high over here. You can see we created a wick towards the upside, which means we took out the stop losses of people that had their stop loss above the previous week high. Afterwards, we have seen a small correction, but I wouldn't really call this a correction or a higher low over here, as it has been very minimal so far. But we did indeed take out the previous week high, as I explained to you guys, but we are yet to take out this buy side liquidity over here. Why is this an important area? Because above this buy side liquidity, we are entering a massive fair value gap, as I have been explaining to you guys multiple times already, okay? So what do I want to see right now, preferably? Well, I've already opened my first short position over here at 20.4K, but I have multiple short orders laddered in this area right over here. So I actually want us to squeeze up a little bit more today, maybe even tomorrow, to take out this buy side liquidity, which is a key level in my opinion, because I want to tap into this fair value gap, take out the liquidity that has been building up inside of this fair value gap, fill those bigger orders, maybe get even a couple of people bullish, and then we get a big nuke towards the downside, towards my first targets, which are these equal lows over here, okay? So I want to take out at least these equal lows and preferably go and test the June low over here, because if we zoom in on the June low, we can see we still have an unfilled wick over here, and as we all know, these wicks, they leave behind liquidity, and the market makers always push the price towards those liquidity areas, okay? So for example, right here, we created a big wick, and later on that wick once again got filled, okay? So these wicks, they always get filled. Created a big wick and we filled up that wick. Created a big wick and we filled up that wick, okay? These wicks, they attract the price really well. So I want to see a reversal with an inside bar, with a bullish engulfing candlestick, but not with a wick like this on the 4-hourly time frame. So that is the reason why I still expect a move towards the downside, because there's so much liquidity below. My main target remains the same, and that is 16 to 14K, which 14K will offer massive support, but also 16K will be strong support for Bitcoin. And I do still believe that area is definitely still possible. If we look into this fair value gap, which area will offer strong resistance? Well, I want to take the swing high to the swing low over here. We can see golden Fibonacci ratio. As we all know, the most important Fibonacci area of support and resistance, and in this case, it acts as support, as resistance. What is lining up beautifully with this Fibonacci area of resistance is this bounce that we saw over here. So this higher low before we went up again, in which we got a very strong break of structure over here, and we haven't retested that break of structure, which is lining up beautifully with that golden pocket area of resistance, okay? Also, if we take the volume profile of this entire range that Bitcoin has been trading in for months already, since June, which is a very long time, we can see that we have a massive volume node over here. So right here, as we can see, the most amount of orders have been traded, have been coming into the market. But right here, we see a big volume node as well. So we can maybe even include this one, but we especially have to take a look at this volume node. And if we take that volume node, we take the rectangle, we can see that that volume node is lining up beautifully with our golden Fibonacci ratio, with our previous break of structure, which has not been back tested yet. Okay, so that is a very important area, very important, definitely massive resistance, and I kind of expect the Bitcoin price to bounce off that area and find big resistance over there before we continue our way towards the downside. Can we also go down from here? Yes, we can. But once we do, I still prefer to look maybe for a long scalp position from this area over here inside of this hour 4 fair value gap with our hour 4 order block over here, which is a very strong order block as we can see. And I would look for maybe a scalp long position over there, especially if we get a pullback during the London session, in which New York should reverse back up and could squeeze up towards this resistance area over here, in which we will fill the rest of our short positions. If I go to Twitter, I also shared this swing short position on my Twitter last night actually, which usually I never do, but I was in a good mood, so I was like, let me share it. We can see the first entry got filled, second and third are yet to be filled, and we are risking only 2.5% of our portfolio if our stop loss gets hit. Okay, and our take profit targets are, as you can see, those equal lows, and then the area around $16,000. Okay, so that's it for Bitcoin, guys. It remains the same right now. If you take a look at the EMAs and the moving average, we can see we are right now also trading above those key moving averages, the 200 moving average and the 200 estimated moving average right here, which are lining up beautifully with our area of support over here. So if we do get a pullback during London session, we might look for a scalp long position towards this buy side liquidity and maybe even towards this key area of resistance over here. Okay, so I think it is pretty clear for Bitcoin right now. So I already want to move over to RSR, which is looking like it is getting a pretty strong rejection and maybe even a deeper correction over here. Okay, so as we can see, RSR has been moving sideways for a pretty long time with some spikes towards the upside, but we can see that we have a very clear range over here for RSR. First of all, I want to go onto the monthly time frame. Let's zoom in a bit on RSR. Okay, so what I want to look at right over here is this monthly open. So with our monthly open over here for RSR, we also have our previous month high over here. Then I want to move over to the weekly time frame, in which we have our previous week open over here. Potentially weekly FUG over here, which has not been confirmed yet, but you want to see a retest of this weekly high over there. Otherwise, you are creating a weekly fair value gap, in which we are already seeing one over here. So kind of want to take that one like this. Weekly fair value gap. Then I want to, previous week low, of course, is over here. Then let's move over to the 3-day time frame. Okay, so we are entering 3-day order block, which is interesting. Support. Then on the daily time frame, you can see daily fair value gap close inside that 3-day order block, on top of the monthly open, on top of that weekly high, which we want to tap into. That is an interesting area as well. So we are looking at an interesting area right here. I see maybe a potential equal low over there. Okay. Then we move over to the 4-hourly time frame. Want to take this entire swing low to this swing high. Okay, let's move. Okay, this one is pretty interesting as well. Let's also take this swing low to this swing high. Okay. I would prefer to look for this long setup over here, as this is still a 20% correction, and as Bitcoin can go down a lot, I do expect RSR kinda to sweep these lows, or at least this low, tap into the weekly fair value gap over here, and maybe look for a long there, because the point is right now it is pretty hard to look for a long position over here, as we are expecting Bitcoin to get a harsh move towards the downside. So that is why I would look for a long position lower up in this area. So let's remove these orders, but do bear in mind RSR is stepping into support over here. Okay, so this area will act as support. Yeah, it's pretty strong support. 3-day order block with a daily fair value gap close, with a weekly fair value gap close, with a monthly open, with a 4-hour order block over here. So first scenario that we are looking at is something like this for RSR, but I doubt that that will happen, because we do expect a deeper move towards the downside for Bitcoin. So the second scenario would be to take out the previous week low, tap into the weekly fair value gap, where we have the golden pocket of support over here, which is very strong support, especially because we would sweep the previous week low and tap into that golden pocket in confluence with the weekly fair value gap. Okay, so what we want to do is go on the daily time frame. We can also see that we have a small daily fair value gap over here. Well, actually, let's take it like this. This one all the way to that one, which is a daily fair value gap. Okay, then I want to take a look at the moving averages. Let's see if we get some more confluence. So we do have the 200 moving average in this area of support, and we have the 50 moving average in this area of support on the daily time frame. Both strong support levels, as we can see. 50 moving average beautifully providing resistance every single time over here, and also support over here. So very strong moving average, so that should act as support. And on the 12-hourly time frame, 4-hourly time frame, yeah, as you can see, 200 moving average on the 4-hourly time frame over here, 200 estimated moving average also in this area of support. So right now we have two options that we are looking at. Let's take a quick look at the 12-hourly time frame. Also the 12-hourly time frame, we can see all the big moving averages in this area. So we have two different kind of scenarios that we are looking at right now. We can see that, let's remove this one for a second. We can either bounce from this area of support, but I would prefer to go down a bit more, test this area, so something like this, and then get something like this. So reaccumulate in this area of support before we get another move towards the towards the upside, okay? Because that is also in confluence with our target for Bitcoin, which is about a 20% correction at first as well. So RSR could bounce from this area of support, and that is the only area where I would right now be interested in a long. Yes, if we see the right reaction at this area, I would be interested in a long, but right now I would prefer this area for RSR, okay? So that is the current update for RSR. Definitely still looking strong, but I'm looking at a potentially deeper correction, as we have seen a massive move towards the upside as well. So maybe we get a bounce here to finish the B move of the ABC correction, and then get the C move towards this area of support and bounce from there, maybe with a new impulsive move towards the upside for RSR. Okay, guys? So that is it right now for Bitcoin and for RSR. Yes, we can squeeze up a little bit higher, but the nuke should be coming soon. That is at least my bias. Obviously, no financial advice, but that is what I'm currently looking at for Bitcoin and also for altcoins. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to smash up the like button. Also make sure to follow me on Twitter, where I will be sharing my analysis, and I will also be sharing trades sometimes. Also make sure to join our Discord, join our Telegram group, all for free. And thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe and smash up the like button. And I will see you guys on Friday's video. Bye bye.